Today is August 29th, 2015, and it's been many months since I've had Firecrest Easter Eve, my oldest Morgan mare, in her side saddle. And I have a helper today, Jessica, who's actually a nurse here in Santa Cruz, but she wants to learn stuff about livestock. So she's helping me, and I showed her how we lunged Eve in half my arena without a line, and Eve was perfect. She hadn't forgotten a thing. Then we brought her back here.
I'm just going to ask her to back up very gently. Back. Good. She's not upset. Now I'm going to try to get her to go counterclockwise, so I'm going to back off myself and not let her follow me, because she may misunderstand. I'm going to go. Good. She got the message. Evie is the most willing of my three horses, but she's not the smartest. Semi's the smartest. So Evie's natural way of freaking out at a lizard is much stronger than Semi. Semi sees a lizard and she said, "Oh, okay." Evie says, "Uh-oh, that thing's gonna kill me."
Hi. Oh, there's Rusty the bull.
It's been months since we've done this. If we did it every day.
My other two mares got really excited because it's been so long since we've done this kind of thing. We had to get them corralled up into their browsing and grazing pastures so that they wouldn't do what herd animals do, and that is excite each other. So what am I going to do today since it's been so long? One tiny baby step at a time. I got the side saddle on. I had to remember how to cinch it up. And I'm going to go to my old side saddle shows from a year or two ago to make sure I did it right. Now, I didn't want to use any kind of a bridle on Eve that had any kind of severity. I didn't feel it was necessary. I will move to that if I have to. But what I did was I put a Pirelli hackamore on her. And that's a rope halter. And she's definitely used to rope halters, with a place for reins and a small knot under the nose that gives me a little bit of control, because you see a rope halter has that double-stranded nylon over the nose, so if I pull back with the reins, she'll feel it on her nose, and Eve knows, you know, that's a message. And then Jessica has a lead line in her hand. You see the Pirelli rope hackamore is also a lead line device for taking the horse where you want to take them without involving the reins. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Jessica just follow along with me. I haven't had Evie back here in a long time. I'm going to take her over to where I have in the past many times mounted in my side saddle. I have 2 hip replacements. I can use both legs now quite well, but I started learning side saddle after each surgery, and I said, I don't want to stop practicing side saddle. It was a challenge. It's different, and a lot of people who watch my shows are curious about it. You can do a lot with side saddle, even though you have leg pressure on only one side of the side saddle. So now Jessica's gonna take this camera with the tripod and follow me, and I'm gonna take Eve to the barrel and the step up where I generally mount her. I'm not gonna mount her today, but I'm gonna remind her where she's supposed to stand for me so that I can safely mount. Once I tried this with Sammy, my stallion's daughter, years ago, I didn't do the proper preparation, and when I got up on the barrel, Semi got scared. I was higher than her, and she side passed to the right, and I was trying to get in the side saddle, and I fell down. I didn't hurt myself, but Semi got scared and she ran away, and I realized, gosh, it's so important every step of the way to let them know what you're doing. So now I'm going to take the lead line, and the camera will shake a little bit when Jessica moves it. Come on, Evie. But she's gonna, come on over. She's gonna come closer. Come on around. Whoop. See, now I kind of call this parallel parking. Evie's really good at it. When I'm all done doing my obstacles here, I bring her up here. She side passes over the barrel, and I can safely get off. Now, this is a scary part of the procedure that you want to train your horse to accept as not being scary. And watch, I'm just gonna step up here. See, I'm gonna get higher than her in a moment. And I've got this thing to hold on to if I need it. Step up here. Now I'm higher than Evie, but she's not scared. Look, her neck is still down. She's blinking her eyes. She's okay. I'm gonna move the saddle. She's okay on that. Her neck came up a little bit. She's thinking, what is that feel? But she's okay. It's all right. I'm making a noise by putting my right foot on the barrel. She's okay on that. Watch her body language. Blinking eyes, neck down. Her back leg isn't cocked, but if she was really relaxed, she'd cock her back leg. She's not licking her lips, but she might. And you know, I'm not going to go up on this barrel with just my right leg right now. I really should. It's been so long. I should have somebody here to give me a little bit of support, because I try not to challenge my hip replacements. I don't want to put all my weight on my right or on my left. Gosh, she's just, look at, she's asleep. Now, the last time I did this was months ago, and I said, I need something to hang on to, so I brought this here. But you know, it makes a lot of noise. Some horses could get really afraid. I haven't actually used it to hold on to it, and I may have to figure something else out, like attach something to the barrel. I've done that to another barrel I use closer to my stable. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work for me. I'm going to have to take, I take a vinyl rail and I bolt it into the barrel. But I was wondering if this would be easy, and I'm saying no. I'm making choices right now. The most important thing is to do it safely and not scare your horse and not violate your own body. Know what you are able to do. So Evie's good. And I'm gonna ask her to do this. I'm gonna go to the right. Come on around. Step over. Yes, she saw that. She's very cute. She just stepped over this obstacle that I have. I'm going to ask her to parallel park next to my barrel again. Now look at this. Yeah, her hip is a little bit out. Let's see if I can get her straight. Come on up. Small steps are hard for horses. They sometimes just want to take big steps. Come on. Good, good. But her hip is out. So, will she remember when I ask her to move her hip over? I think so. We'll see if you see. over, over. Beautiful, beautiful, Eve. Small steps over. She's still a little far away. We've got a barking dog here, but she's okay on that. I'm gonna try to get her close again, and I want her to stay close. And she'll understand. She's very willing. Over, over, over. She's backing up. Oh, she's very close now. Okay, we're fine. If I wanted to step up there with somebody here to
You want me to help
give
you?
me a little support, sure. Yeah, let's leave the camera. Stand over here and just give me a hand. I don't want to fall down. That would really scare her. This. Yeah. Okay, this is where I need the support. There. And now this is really challenging. I'm way up high, but she's okay. She's done this. Perfect, Eve. Then, the hardest part is yet to come, and I'm not going to do that today. But this is what I do. I take the reins off, which are just yacht rope, and I have to scooch into this side saddle. I put my right leg around this horn, and then I put my left leg in the stirrup, and then I usually just stand there for a little while just to make sure that Eve accepts my weight, the way it feels in a side saddle. Well, how does it feel? It's a little different from in a stride saddle because my right leg is not on the offside. My right leg is here on this horn. And then I have to make sure I sit on my right sits bone and put some weight in it. Otherwise, if something does scare Eve, I'm not centered in the side saddle. And being centered in the saddle is extremely important. Stay in the center of balance of your horse so that no matter what they do, you're in the center of balance. And you learn that very quickly and very much when you do cattle cutting. Because a horse who's locked onto a cow will do some really sudden movements. And as long as you move with the horse, you'll stay in the saddle. And that's what's so challenging about cattle cutting, because it's not just a jump. It's not just a step. It's not just an obstacle. It's a live being who's moving sometimes in such a way that you don't anticipate the next movement. And it's the horse's job to anticipate it and do what you're trying to do with cattle cutting, penning, and other sports involving cattle. So next time, I want to get to the next step, and that is sit in the side saddle, put my right sits bone off to the right a little bit, and my left leg into the stirrup, my right leg over this horn, and then I would tie this lead line around her neck in such a way that she can't step on it or in it, and I would ask her to move out, either straight away, to the right, to the left, or back. And then there are so many challenges out here with this obstacles area, because I leave all these here and I constantly remind all my horses what it takes to do the obstacles the way I ask them to do it. Step over the pole, the post that's on the ground. Step over the jump. Step up on a high step. Step into the box. Can you turn the camera and show the box? Step into the box from the bridge that's outside of the box on the south side. Step into the box, and then not step through the box, not if I'm asking her to spin around and go back out on the south side. She has to listen to me. Now over here, I've got vinyl rails all strapped together. I have an L, and that's very challenging, but kind of easy for my horses. We've done them for so many years. You walk through it, or you back through it. Over there is another L. Then there's uneven but parallel posts on the ground, so that I will ask her to step over them, and she'll have to lift her legs in such a way that she steps over them and not on them. Okay, and then in this ancient oak tree, and my camera person Jessica's going to show you, I've got other kinds of obstacles. I've got a vinyl post that I pull with a rope. And I can do this with side saddle. There's no reason why I can't do it. I've got a tarp that I can pull or drape across her hip or her neck. And I ask her to please trust me, respect me, don't spook. And Eve is one of the best to not spook. However, I never forget that she is a horse. She is a prey animal. And back here on this east side of my 5-acre ranch is a creek bank. And there are many, many predators living in this creek bank. And Evie knows that. They don't forget the things that scared them. She knows that a bobcat might come out. That a family, the other day there were 5 deer here. A family of 5 deer might come out. And you know, she can get scared of these, what she perceives as a predator, even if they're not predators. And then you have to deal with it if you're asking her to focus on what you're asking her to do. And you have to make sure that you're centered. Now, my one of my helpers is bringing a wheelbarrow full of manure. Now, does Evie, yes, look at that left ear. She heard it, and her left ear said, I've got to figure out what that noise is. But she didn't get afraid. Every single second, I try to read the body language of my horses and my cows to know what they're likely to do next. Okay, now leave the camera there and then, you know, help me down. By the way, I am 71 years old and I love to do these things. I don't care how old I get, as long as I'm able, I'm gonna do them. Give me a lot of support here. Now, see, if I were to fall down, yeah, what would Eve say? She'd get scared. Good girl. But she trusts me. She's done this many times, even though it was months ago that we last did it. And there we are. We've done a refresher course on side saddle back here in the obstacles. And I'm hoping that we can continue to do these kind of things for months to come, although there's a very strong El Nino predicted, and there may be times where we're going to have to go inside to work on obstacles, and you'll see us do that in the square pen, which is a covered training area that I have too. That's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl. Now I'm going to have Jessica. Yeah, Jessica doesn't even know how to turn off the camera. We're doing this one step at a time. Hold Eve. I've taught Jessica what to do to stay out of any kind of flea zone. Here we go. Now, if something were to scare, I'm just reviewing it here, Evie coming from the creek bank, Jessica, this is kind of a quiz. Where do you not want to be?
Oh, this way.
That side, because she'll move away from whatever's scaring her. And if something, like even a squirrel in those eucalyptus trees back there, if a squirrel came down, she'd be scared. If she heard an unusual sound, where do you not want to be? In front. So usually when we lead our horses, we're on one side or the other, but you got to think about what side it is. Now, Evie's licking her lips right now. Okay, that's literally she's licking with her tongue. Okay, and she's looking for affection. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow.